Hello everyone, welcome back to the WarScope channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. Today we are diving deep into a shocking development that has left Moscow in flames and the Kremlin reeling. A massive blaze erupted after what officials claim was a Ukrainian drone attack, marking one of the most dramatic moments of the war in recent weeks. The images from the city are almost surreal: skyscrapers lit up with fire, smoke billowing into the night sky, and emergency sirens echoing through the capital. This event is not just another attack, it is a symbolic and strategic blow that is sending shockwaves through Russia's leadership, military, and citizens. Let's start with what we can call the exterior of this event, the outer picture that the world is seeing. Moscow's skyline is usually a symbol of Russian power and prosperity, with towering modern glass structures like the Moscow City Business District. But after this attack, the once glittering towers were seen engulfed in flames, with windows shattered and debris raining down on the streets below. The fire lit up the night sky, visible from miles away, creating an image that looked more like a war zone than a bustling capital. Videos posted on social media show residents staring in disbelief as firefighters struggled to contain the inferno. The exterior impression here is devastating, a blow not just to infrastructure but to the Kremlin's image of control and security. When we step inside the interior perspective, things get even more concerning. Inside these towers are some of Russia's most valuable offices, high-tech companies, and even ministries. Reports indicate that some floors were completely gutted by fire, destroying sensitive equipment and documents. Employees were evacuated in a panic, with many saying they had never experienced such fear before. The short but intense blaze spread quickly across multiple floors, leaving behind charred furniture, melted wires, and a smell of smoke that is likely to linger for weeks. The interior damage represents not just property loss, but a disruption to Moscow's economic and political operations. Now let's talk about performance, and in this case, we mean the performance of Moscow's air defense systems. Russia has invested heavily in S-400 and Pantsir systems, boasting that they are capable of intercepting almost anything. Yet, somehow, drones manage to penetrate this layered defense and strike deep into the city center. This raises serious questions about whether these systems are as effective as claimed. Analysts are pointing out that either the defenses were saturated by multiple drones at once, or there were critical gaps in radar coverage. Either way, the performance of Russia's security apparatus has come under fire, both literally and figuratively. Safety features are another angle worth discussing. Moscow has extensive civil defense systems, fire brigades, and emergency response protocols. On this night, those systems were put to the test. Firefighters worked around the clock to contain the flames, and fortunately, early reports suggest there were no mass casualties. However, residents have criticized the lack of timely alerts. Some said they only realized what was happening after hearing explosions and seeing the fire outside their windows. Safety drills are being reviewed, and there are calls for more robust public warning systems that can inform people immediately when an attack is underway. The unique selling point of this event, if we think of it in strategic terms, is its psychological impact. This is not just about damage to a building, it's about sending a message. Ukraine has repeatedly said that the war must be felt in Russia if it is to be brought to an end. Striking Moscow, the very heart of Russian power, forces the Kremlin to face a reality that was previously distant. This is not just a front-line conflict anymore. It's a war that can reach the capital at any moment. For Ukraine, this serves as a show of strength and a morale boost for its citizens. For Russia, it is a wake-up call that nowhere is completely safe. As for the price, we can look at both the literal and figurative costs. Financially, the damage is estimated in the tens of millions of dollars, considering the destroyed offices, equipment, and the loss of productivity. Insurance claims are going to skyrocket, and businesses will take months to recover. Politically, the price is even higher. The Kremlin must now allocate more resources to defend Moscow, possibly diverting them from the front lines in Ukraine. There is also the price of public perception. Russian citizens are now witnessing a war that was supposed to be far away, and that can have major social and political consequences. In conclusion, the massive blaze in Moscow after the Ukrainian drone strike is more than just a fire. It is a symbol of a war that is evolving in scope and intensity. It shows the vulnerability of even the most fortified cities and raises questions about defense, security, and strategy. It also demonstrates Ukraine's capability to strike symbolic targets and keep the pressure on Russia at every level: military, political, and psychological. This event will likely be remembered as one of the turning points that shifted the war's momentum, not necessarily on the battlefield, but in the minds of those watching. If you found this analysis helpful, please share this video and subscribe to WarScope for more in-depth coverage of global conflicts. Your support helps us keep bringing you accurate and timely updates on the world's most critical events.